Universal basic income. This is when they start shouting, socialism, socialism, socialism. Not all cuss words are 4 letters, right? But to be honest with you, Social Security is a social welfare program. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with a social welfare program. Social Security, from the moment you start working and you put your Social Security number into the payroll of a business, you pay into a system that, in theory, would allow you to get a check once you retire, roughly about 65, to live on until you die. In theory. We know that's not going to happen. Either AI and robots are going to take everybody's jobs, or inflation is going to have us working to we're 1,000 years old. No joke. But in theory, there's a percentage of your check that goes into a program that allows for people to live a better life. And I don't see anything wrong with that. In my opinion, I'm more of a tribalist than a socialist. As I said in the capitalism philosophical monologue, it's like socialism with less corruption. So, in theory, tribalism is believing that we are all part of one group. There's no highs, there's no lows. We all coexist together. And because we coexist together, we all have to live together, we have an equal say, preferably by vote. In my opinion, everybody has a smartphone. So, in theory, everybody could do fingerprint scans combined with retina scans, combined with Social Security number back checking, as well as a numerous variety of other security background measures, including voice recognition, facial recognition, everything your phone already does. All phones already have facial recognition. All phones have retina scans for your eyes. All phones already have fingerprint scans. All phones already have voice recognition. Just because the deep state doesn't tell you that it's there. Oh, I promise you it's there. Alright. But all that aside, a variety of methods can be used in order to verify somebody's existence. You can combine that with social media accounts, make sure they're still alive. When was their last update? If their last update was 30 minutes ago, more than likely they're still around and kicking. But you never know these days. I know a lot of people can't vote because they have prior engagements, work, life, and whatnot. But most people could answer a text on their phone or answer a video call. So everybody votes. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a say. We back check it and verify that the person's real. Of not just one, but a variety of different ways to double check they're real. And then everybody has a say in how the money is spent and how our resources are allocated in a tribal manner. It's tribalism. We all own the land. We all own the water. We all own the air. We're all affected by it, right? If one person cut down all of the trees, would it not affect all of us? If one person poisoned all the water, would it not affect all of us? Then we are one tribe. I believe in one consciousness. I am one with the universe. All of it. Since the beginning of consciousness. All is one, and one is all. Oneness. So, it never really bothered me to feel that I was deciding as a whole on the existence of everything. That being said, howdy howdy. So with tribalism, we all vote on how the resources are allocated to allow for us to have a more quote unquote democratic feel for our resources, as opposed to whoever has the most money has the most say, right? Whoever can afford the most land gets the most say. Whoever can afford the most resources gets the most say. Whoever has the most gets to say the most. Which, because of generational poverty for some communities, and because of generational wealth for other communities, that could be quite unfair when it comes to power and wealth. And so, with everybody voting on how resources are allocated, we can all decide on the future of our species. We get into corruption at this point. The people with money, especially the high 1%ers, the billionaires, especially the ones that inherited it and didn't build it, they're not going to let it go. I promise you. They would rather see the world burn than to let the money and the power go. It's like, if I can't have it, no one can. You know that old line? It's one of those. That's where greed and corruption comes in. The only way to change that is to change your life philosophy. The one thing that the 1%ers always need to remember, and this goes back to the money philosophical monologue. Value only exists as long as the society exists. If society collapses, your money is worthless. What are you gonna give money to the sand? The sand will take your money. I don't know if it'll give anything back to you, but you know, it's not. There's nothing wrong with trying, right? The thing about tribalism and socialism is that the people with the most money have nothing to gain from sharing it equally. Most of the corporations, if not all the corporations, are built off the working class. They need the people without the money to work, spend their hours, spend their time, spend their energy to build up these corporations so the people at the top can continue to make more income. That's why CEOs make hundreds of millions and the working class makes hundreds. And that's the difficulty of capitalism. How do you overturn a system that's based on the most powerful running everything? You're not crazy. I did have to jump cut because my guardian angel called me. And I tried to miss that call. And so we are here continuing the conversation because we need to have this conversation. We, you, me, I, the universe, we need to have this conversation to better all of us. Universal basic income is a system where the people vote and how the resources are allocated, preferably in a way that allows for the disenfranchised and the economically inept or disenfranchised to have a way to live and survive in an ever advancing society. They say by 2040, over 100 million jobs will be lost to robots, automation, and artificial intelligence. What's up, boo? I see you made it. Come on. I know, I see you, mama. All right. So, with 100 million people out of work, they're either going to have to go back to school, trade school, or university, or get that YouTube diploma and figure out how to advance in a ever-changing, technologically advancing society, which to me is going to be very difficult because artificial intelligence can move at such a rapid pace. It's going to exponentially progress society even quicker. As I said in the technological consciousness singularity monologue, whenever artificial intelligence becomes sentient, it'll be able to reprogram itself and move at an even greater exponential rate. And that's gonna be tough to beat. But until then, we're trying to find a way to make us all live. Now we go back to how can we survive on just a basic income. What you need to understand about UBI is we can fulfill your needs, but we can't fulfill your wants. Example given. If I were to say you get one animal, one vegetable, and one fruit, you vote on which it is, and we stick with that. There'd be a lot of people who would not be happy with that because you're greedy little monsters. But no, because you're accustomed to overindulgence. You always want more. King size, super king size. One is never enough. 1,000 is never enough. They call that addiction, my friend. But with that being said, if we were to limit our consumption, we could conserve land, conserve animal species. You're not eating up every animal that's out here. Every animal. It's ridiculous. Even wolves and bears have a select species that they like. Everything. Okay. And we could conserve land so we're not creating all of these agricultural plantations that reduce ecosystems, full ecosystems. Everything is out here. From the fungi to the shrubs, to the trees, to the ants, to the butterflies, to the birds, to the squirrels, deer. I didn't get it on in my videos, but there was this huge deer out here. Huge. It was like the size of 4 houses. I'd never seen a deer that big before. It was like a 100-star buck or something. It just, when it ran, blew it clear, smelled it. And when it ran, the ground rumbled. It was like thunder. There's a whole ecosystem out here. It's not just one plant, one tree, and a bunch of machines and factory workers. That's the whole ecosystem. That's the ecosystem of capitalism. You can call me a tree hugger, but I promise you, when carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases are choking off your air, you're gonna wanna hug a tree as tight as fucking possible. That's the only way you're getting oxygen. I learned from the ancients. I learned well from the ancients. So, remember this. 100 million jobs are at risk in the next 15 years because of automation, robotization, and artificial intelligence. Capitalism doesn't care about anything but consumption. That's why all of our holidays are based around buying and consuming things. Christmas, Valentine's Day, you name it. Even when you buy t-shirts on Martin Luther King Day, it's like all of our biggest holidays are based around buying and consuming goods. Capitalism doesn't care about anything but money and consumption. But if society ever collapses, that money means nothing. It wouldn't do anything for anybody. It's just paper. Universal basic income would allow for people who have lost jobs due to automation and robotization to be able to survive until they can learn new skills, apply those skills either at a trade school or at a apprenticeship for a job or a skill, and feed themselves and their family. We as a society need to decide what our future values and what is important: overconsumption or feeding the consumers. And so, until then, think about it. Till we meet again. Peace.